What's up, bitches? Malachi here with another little bit of help for anybody who's got what's this? The LS400, the V8 Lexus. We're doing rack and pinion, so I'm giving you tips on how I'm taking it out. And as you can see, this thing is just about ready to fall out of here. I just got to wiggle it out get the clearance around the transmission. To get this thing out, step 1, lift your vehicle. Step 2, take off both wheels on each side. Rotate the wheels from right to left, depending to give you better access. If you're using a machine, if you're using freaking ratchets, I guess you can give her the old reach around, don't matter. Take out the two 17mm bolts holding your brake caliper in. Flip your brake caliper over to the front or support it from above like you should with a hook. I ain't really got no tension on this hose, so I'm not too worried about it. It'll be fine. Taking off the caliper, take off the rotor, gives you easy access to your nut on your outer tie rod end. Pop off the little horseshoe clip retainer. I used a pick or something. And before you crack that nut, which actually you probably could, it really don't matter, put a 19mm on your adjustment lock nut and crack that thing loose. Then beat this thing out, or however you're doing it. Now, the owner did not buy new outer tie rod ends, so this is why I put 12.5 rotations was the old setting. We're going to dial it in pretty close enough so we can get to an alignment shop to actually get it perfect. I don't do alignments. I can get pretty close. I can usually get it close enough where you don't really need much of an alignment, or if at all. But yeah, whatever. Do that on both sides. Then you're going to crawl underneath the vehicle. You're going to take it on the skid plate, about 10 or 12 little screws and nuts. Take that skid plate. It's just a splash shield, I guess, not even skid plate. It's plastic. Drop that down, slide it off to the side. This will give you access to your 4 bolts that hold your rack and pinion to it. Now you're going to want a wrench on the top. They will all be 17mm. Top and bottom. Passenger side is gravy easy to access. The driver's side's a little tougher, especially for the inner one, although that one they both came up pretty easy. There are little brackets. These brackets right here, set from above. It's just a bolt. On the top side, there'll be a washer and 1 nut right there. And ×2 on this side and the other side. The other things you want to do is you want to take a 12mm socket. You'll see this empty bore in this hole right up here. That is for this solenoid. You see it's hanging down. I couldn't get the damn thing unplugged, and I didn't want to break it, so I'm letting it hang like an idiot. I sat there and tried to fiddle with a pick and try to get it unplugged. And rather than force it and damage the plug, I was like, okay, just let it hang for now. If I have to, I'll address it better. To get the 2 lines, the feed and return line, which is a little hard to see in there. I suppose I could probably try and flashlight it. There you go, maybe you can see. I was able to access the first one with just a regular 17mm. This is 11/16, but it doesn't really matter. Wrench. And the second one that was further in, I found it was a little bit easier to use a flex head. I think it's underneath my oil drain thing there. Flex head style to reach into the second one. I think you can get it with a straight, but the flex head worked better. And I had to put a second wrench on the second one to get it to pop loose. Unscrew those. Those are a couple banjo bolts. The new rack does not appear to come with new washers, so I'm probably going to measure these, see how big they are. I think they are 16mm. This is a 5/8 inch, so you might need a couple 5/8 inch washers, crush washers. Or what I may do is I've been known to anneal these, or just sand them down. And I've reused washers many times. I've never had a leak, so I'm not too worried about it. But again, it's banjo fitting, so whatever. The next part is where it gets a little bit tricky. I rotated the steering wheel 90 degrees. So you're like this, and you're 90 degrees, and gives you access to the 12 millimeter bolt right here for your pinch bolt on the pinion here for your linkage to your steering column. Now I took out the bolt real quick, then rotated the steering wheel back to dead center because we want everything based on dead center. Lastly, to pop that off, I was having trouble using the chisel or the pry bar thing here and the hammer and tapping it off. It did not want to slide off so easy. It just kind of there. What ended up being the ultimate trick was there are 4 nuts holding the subframe in, and they're 17 millimeter. I just went in there with the old machine here and loosen them down so that they're hanging on the studs, so the engine transmission will come down with it, but it lowers the subframe, and this gives you more clearance on the body of the vehicle. And then I was able to tap it right off without much issue. And at that point in time, well, I've pulled it out the rest of the way. I just got to wiggle it out and finagle it, but she is out. And anything I said to do with tie rod and stuff applies to the other side too, with as far as the brakes and all that good shit. Hope somebody learned something, and if not, well, piss off, I guess. Oh! Gotta stand up. Don't get old, kids. Don't get old. I'm dying here. That's reinstallation. There's a couple O-rings right there. I'm not too sure what those are about. My guess is they might have something to do with that solenoid. Not really sure. But peace out, bitches.